This video is spoiler free. Hello my nakamatachi, this is JoyGirl. Let's discuss the ending of One Piece. So Ohara's latest video with Yuderon really got me thinking about the ending of One Piece and has me really looking forward to two particular chapters, chapters 1031 and 1127. Now if you haven't watched that video, the link is in the description box below and it really is a must watch if you guys are into speculations, theories, predictions and wordplays. And Yuderon is a Japanese One Piece YouTuber who has correctly predicted multiple things that have happened so far in the series. His mind is seriously amazing. He's able to figure out the contents of certain chapters by looking at the puns in chapter numbers, and he makes his predictions based off that. An example is he was able to pinpoint when Jinbei would return to the crew at Wano based on the wordplay in chapter 976, which could be read as old team. Now I won't go into further details and I won't look at other examples because I think Ohara deserves those views for doing the work, so again, go watch that video. And if you want to see more of Yuderon's content, then his channel link is also in the description box, and it seems like he's adding more English translations to his works now, so big thanks to Yuderon. Now Ohara collaborated with Yuderon after his initial translation and enhancement of Yuderon's theory about the location of Laugh Tale and the One Piece, which I imagine most of us have watched already by now, unless you're someone who likes to avoid discussions about predictions for this series' ending. In any case, in this latest video, Ohara asked Yuderon a number of questions based on submissions from the One Piece community. And from this video, there were a few things that really stuck out to me, some of them being again chapters 1031 and 1127, and I'm not going to be talking about chapter 1031, but I will be talking about chapter 1127, which is something that was also brought up in the original theory video. And the reason for this is because, as Ohara and Yuderon explain, 1127 in Japanese could be also read as Hitotsunagi, which can be translated to the One Piece. And as we know, Oda really likes his wordplays, which you've seen throughout the series, such as his names for devil fruits or his bounty numbers, and this has only gotten even more evident for us recently because we know it goes even further than that. He likes to make wordplays out of his chapter numbers. So it seems that chapter 1127 could be the chapter where we find out about the One Piece. Now the best thing about One Piece is the journey, which I really am enjoying experiencing with the rest of you guys, but I can't help but think about the ending because of all the lore and mysteries in the series. I think that's why so many of us are so fascinated with theories and we just love to speculate, because Oda has crafted such a rich and deeply layered story with so much hidden meaning. And despite being over 1,000 chapters into the series, there are still so many unresolved mysteries that it feels impossible that we might be finding out what or where the One Piece is anytime soon. But despite that, we have been told that the series might be ending relatively soon, because back in September 2019, Oda made a comment during an interview that One Piece would be ending in around 4 to 5 years, and I don't know whether you guys think that that's enough time for the series to be wrapping up, because as you guys know, I only caught up with the series relatively recently, just as the Supernova Trio arrived to aid the Alliance, which happened in early 2020 in chapter 974. So back in 2019, I wasn't actually in the One Piece community, and I didn't really get a chance to discuss this further with anyone. So actually, I would be interested in knowing what your thoughts were when this news broke out, so let me know in the comment section. Anyways, roughly a year later in September 2020, Oda clarified this comment by way of an SBS in volume 97, and I was in the One Piece community by that point, so I actually did make a video discussing this. Basically, there were a few translations for this, with the nuance between each translation varying somewhat, and it seemed like the Japanese was left intentionally vague. But the general idea is that Oda seemed to be saying that the juiciest part or the most exciting part of Luffy's story, being the adventure of what the One Piece is, will be ending in 4 to 5 years. And this could be taken to imply that whilst we may find out what the One Piece is by then, the story itself could continue past that date. And the reason why I'm going through all of this again is because it seems like Yuderon's speculations for chapter 1127 seems to confirm that timeline. Based on the chapter release frequency since the beginning of 2020, One Piece releases around 3 chapters per month. And that's accounting for Oda breaks, the Shonen Jump magazine-wide breaks, as well as some additional breaks in between for unexpected external factors. Essentially though, this meant we received 32 chapters last year, and if we stick to the release schedule for 2021, unless there are more unanticipated breaks from now till the end of the year, we'll be seeing 35 chapters. At the time of this video, chapter 1022 was just released, meaning that there are still 105 chapters until we reach chapter 1127, that being the chapter where it is speculated that the One Piece will be found. And when calculating according to our current release schedule of that rough 35 chapters per year, 105 chapters is roughly 3 years from now, meaning that 105 chapters from now would take us to around this time in 2024. Also meaning that Oda's comments about One Piece ending, or at least the most exciting parts of One Piece ending in 5 years, may be true after all, because Oda originally made that comment in September 2019, and 5 years from September 2019 is September 2024. So as Yuderon said, unless external factors like the coronavirus affects the pacing and the release schedule, it seems like we will be experiencing Luffy discovering the One Piece in 3 years' time in chapter 1127, and that his speculations for 1127 will fit with Oda's timeline. And so for someone like me who only caught up with the series relatively recently, I'm quite saddened by this prospect, but I do understand that One Piece, like any other good series, does have to come to an end at some point. And I can imagine that for some of you who have been following the series for a significant period of your life, the idea of One Piece ending must feel quite surreal. So the good news is that Oda's words, or even this speculation about chapter 1127, might not mean that the series itself as a whole will be ending in 2024, because it seems like it could go two ways. One Piece could end then and there in 3 years' time, with the final chapter being titled The One Piece, or two, which is the more likely option, where chapter 1127 is the chapter where Luffy and the Straw Hats find the One Piece, but the series continues past that point. It could even be like Pulp Fiction with the briefcase, where we don't actually see what's inside, and this could happen in One Piece, where in chapter 1127, Luffy and the crew find the One Piece, but the chapter ends there. We don't get to see what the actual treasure is, although I think it is more likely that we will find out the contents of what the One Piece is in that chapter, which is a very exciting idea. But I do think that this second possibility of finding the One Piece in that chapter and then the series still continuing is much more likely, especially when we consider the fact that we are still in the Wano arc. And as of this point, Wano has been running for over 3 years and we're over 100 chapters in. And then when we also consider Oda's other comments in that response, where he said that following Wano, he will be drawing the greatest war that the series has ever seen, one that will make even Marineford look cute, it seems impossible that he'll be able to wrap up that great war by 2024 when we haven't even finished Wano yet. So I think what we might see is that the juiciest part of the adventure, being Luffy and the Straw Hats finding the One Piece, could happen in 3 years' time, but the final war might happen afterwards. Or Luffy and the crew could reach Laugh Tale and find the One Piece, but then Blackbeard appears, having also been chasing the treasure, and the world government could even get involved. Seriously, there are so many ways you could go with this, but if we consider that the two emperors, Kaido and Big Mom, are defeated at Wano, then that would really only leave two known threats to Luffy and the Straw Hats remaining, being Blackbeard and the Marines. Personally, what I would like to see most from this final war, from an enjoyment perspective, is an all-out war with all the different factions involved. But obviously, what happens between now and chapter 1127 will greatly affect who's involved in that final battle. Another interesting idea is that Luffy could find the One Piece and achieve his goals before the rest of his crew. Say, would Zoro have defeated Mihawk and have already become the world's strongest swordsman by then? Would Sanji have found the Old Blue? Is Laugh Tale the last final island of the world? And will Nami have drawn the complete world map by that point? But in any case, I do think that rough time frame of finding the One Piece in 3 years from now and then some other event to truly wrap up the series is a reasonable timeline. And I know Oda has mentioned this 5-year timeline before, even before 2019. He even initially planned for the entire series to be wrapped up in 5 years. So I do understand the argument that we shouldn't be putting too much weight into Oda's words, but this revelation and this introduction of the wordplay from Yuderon and Ohara makes me think that this timeline is actually confirmed. And I would really like to see this pun come into fruition in some way, because I think it really fits with Oda's writing style. And personally for me, it adds even more excitement about finding the One Piece, and I'm really looking forward to that chapter. But until then, I'll just be enjoying the series with you guys. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below. Don't forget to like and share the video, and please do subscribe for more One Piece content. You can also join our Joyfleet Discord server, where you can continue these discussions as well as participate in fun activities such as monthly games night, which we'll be holding next week. Thank you to our patrons for help supporting this channel, and becoming a patron also gives you fun Discord perks. This is JoyGirl, and I'll see you again soon.